Hello everyone and welcome to this Today we're gonna work on our PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds inventory system. Excuse my voice, I'm a bit ill, but I don't think it will stop us from doing this. So let's go ahead and open up your project. So here we are, and I thought about let's actually get Crosshair with any information of the item we're hovering. So yeah, this will be a widget which gets the information of the item we are facing. So let's do this. So for the crosshair, I open Google and type in just crosshair. Not free. We need alpha. Or transparent is better. Transparent. And just pick one here. But this is only for testing, so you are not allowed to just use something from Google. So don't do this in your case. I'm just showing here for testing purpose. So let's get here one of those. I don't know which one. Just take this here and let's copy this. Let's save it under the desktop like this, and then let's just import it. Okay. So to actually test this, let's first create our widget so we can always look if it's working for us. So we call this HUD or something. And yeah, of course, fill the size of the screen. Get an image here to the middle. So anchor middle, zero everything out. Let's zoom in here. Our size can be 16 by 16. But then we need to center this one here. Like this. Compile and save. And then let's go to our third person character. And let's open it. And let's go to the event graph. Oh, we're in. Then let's bring an event begin play. And let's create a widget. This one will be our HUD. Then we promote this to a variable, HUD ref. And then we add it to the viewport. Very simple. Let's compile and save this. Now let's play. So there we have our small circle or image. And let's just say this time we want to have the brush will be our crosshair. So let's see how this looks. So I think this is okay. It doesn't look perfect, but I think it will fit. So let's here look for our trace. So this is the line trace. Sorry. And let's get the draw debug position. And let's check if it's perfectly aligned here. So it looks like. So yeah, it's okay. So for the next step, we go to the event graph, back here to the bottom, and actually yeah, first we go to the HUD, my fault. And let's create here a text block. Let's get it also into the middle. Oops, my bad. Here 0 and 0. And here we want to do 0.5 by 0.5 again. Or no, we want here 0, so it's right. And then let's give it an x value of 20, for example. And y also 20, or let's get it to 40. So let's see how this looks. Yeah, I think this is quite okay. Sorry. And the next step will be assign this one. So we bind this here, create a binding. And actually we want yeah, we want the HUD to have the item reference. So we need a master item here. So we get a variable called item data, and we make this master item. Oh, my fault. Master item object reference. And we compile and we save, and we make this expose on spawn. So we get here the item data, and we get the data, I guess, the item data. Then we break it, and we get the name. And yeah, actually, now we need to fill here the item data. Actually, we don't need to expose this on spawn because we make here event begin play. So this will only be called at first and then not anymore. So I'll remove this again here. Go back to this one here. Yeah, just leave it there. And let's get to not to the. Okay, this is a bit difficult because we actually have to use a tick to show or to bring the data to the HUD. So it's not the best way, but it will work. So we will use the event tick here, and we would just duplicate the line trace, and we call this trace for HUD. And we do here the same. I think this is okay here. Let's do a special item also for this. So we call this item ref HUD. So we can sorry, plug this here in everywhere. Compile and save this. And let's make this trace for HUD here. Or probably it would better to get control out of the ticks, so we don't use the event tick because this is using a lot of ticks. So what we do here is we go to the event begin play, and we simply make sorry set the timer by function name. And next we just copy here the name and we put it here in. Oops, sorry, here. And we say looping, and we say every 0.1 second. And what it does here now, oh sorry, inside this is it traces, and it gives the item ref HUD the data. So let's see, yep, this is okay, I think. Of course there are some errors because of let's see, okay, here of the HUD has no data. So let's get an is valid here, and only if the item data is valid then we want to do this. So now if we go here, no errors anymore. So what we want now to do is if we hit something that is cast to the master item, then we delete here this everything out, and we get the HUD ref, and we set the item data. So here on correct casting we will, whoops, let me just bring them all back here. Okay, so here's the thing. So again we get the HUD and we set item data, and it will be the master item. And if we fail, oops, set item data again, it will be false. So let me look what I did in the normal line trace. Yeah, they go both into this, so simply this. And of course, if we're hitting nothing, it will also be set it to empty. So yeah, and actually we can delete item ref HUD. We don't need this. Can compile and oh, let's see. Of course, here's the problem. Let's make a new, create a widget. Sorry. Get the HUD, plug this in. So now let's compile this, and yep, and now yeah, you can see it's hitting something. That is the weapon, so this is okay. And it stops. Oops, sorry. So yeah, this is working quite good, I think. Oh, here we have the apple, the weapon, and yeah, that's okay, I think. Oh, some arrows. Let's get to the arrows. And ooh, I thought I made here an is valid, so probably I was going too far back and deleted here. So let's just bring this back in. And yeah, okay, so this is working now. We can go to our line trace and make this to none. Also this one to none. And compile this. And I think this is completely finished. So we could later build something in, like it would say pick up weapon or switch weapon. So if we already have a weapon, and then they will stand switch to weapon. But this is something for the future, not for now. So probably what I would do now is just we have here the click to the right that we pick them up. So if we click here, that we will drop them. So let's go to the UMG and let's say here is our grind items. Let me just first think about how this worked. So, okay, we had our ground slot and our item slot. So we also need something on the item slot. Probably will better to have a drag and drop, I think. Or probably not. Let me think about this. Okay, drag and drop is something for another video because it would take too much time, but we can add a small button here inside our item slot that will just drop the item. So we have here a horizontal box, so let's bring in a button. This will be a trash button or something. Let's make this small but to the right. Yeah, let's click here on fill and let's padding on the right to about 20. It's okay, I think. So we have here a small trash button. So let's see. Yeah, this works. Okay, fine. So what we do here is we get an on clicked and we will make some things possible here. The first and important thing on the on clicked is to delete the item from the inventory. So how do we do this? Let's get here. We have here only the item data inside our slot. So what we do on click is we want to actually let me think about this quick. Probably we're needing more things inside our items because this is not working at the moment because we have no index set it to this. So when we build here and add the item data, probably also needs an index. So here's the multi-items reference. So here's the inventory and everything has an index then. So probably we would better give every item an index number. So how we do this, we create a variable just simply called index, which is an integer, and expose it on spawn. and then we just create the item slot again. So create widget, item slot here, item data comes from there, index comes from there, and this should now work, I think. And what this gives us now is that we can simply say here, probably also what we need is a reference always to the TP character. So this will be third person character reference and will be compiled. Oh, I forgot to expose this. Let's reload this widget here. Item slot, index, and third person character reference. Perfect. So what we do here is from the TPC, when we click on this button, we simply want to remove an item, and I would say it will be better to make this function not inside our inventory item slot, but inside the third person character. So we have here an add item, we also want to have a remove item, or let's say drop item. And what we need here is an index. So let's get the index, which is an integer. And then we also need, of course, the inventory. And then we can remove index, I think was the, yeah, remove index. So we simply remove this. And that's it. So we say here drop item. We're saying give him the index of this item. And what we do then is what we also do when we create or add a new item. So let's get to the add item here. No, destroy multi-trace. We need to build again. So let me just fast look for this one. Add item, destroy item. Here at the top. So what we want to do now is from the inventory ref build these two things here. So we delete this here, we get the inventory reference, and then we say just do this. So, and what we would do now is test this, of course. So let's go ahead and test this. Bring them in here. Let's see the apple. And yeah, this is working quite good, I think. So yeah, they are completely gone from the game. So we don't drop them anymore. So we deleted them. So let's work on this. And I'm excusing for my voice at the moment again. But let's get the drop item at work. So for this, what we do is also in the third person. Say here not drop item, but we say remove item because it's not dropping any item at the moment. So we create a new function called drop item. And what we do here is, of course, we need to create or spawn actually an actor from a class. And also we need to get an input here, which will be the item data. Actually, let's see here. We have not any class assigned to this, so let's do this. So let's get fast into our inventory and let's bring in the master item. no, sorry, not the master item, but the item data, a new variable, which will be our item class, so we know which one we need to drop. So get an actor here and the class reference and save this. So let's get to the master item and let's create a default one, which will be just simply I think it's fair or something. Do we have something like this? Let's see. Okay, no, there is nothing like a default one for this. So let's get inside our apple and say apple is the default one. And for weapon, we have, of course, a weapon. So this is what you do here. Inside here, we can just plug this in. And we need to make transform here, so this can compile correctly. Yep, this is compiling, so this is something we will do later. And yeah, actually, what we want to do here is actually also cast to the master item, and this should work. And then we want to set the item data of this one. So we say if we spawn, we also want to set the item data of this item to the item we dropped. So yeah, this is everything at the moment. So let's say we make this 15 by 15 by 15 at the location for default. And let's say always spawn ignore collisions. Before we can test this, of course, we need to call this function. I think we can call this from here at best. So bring in the TPC again, and let's bring the drop item function. And let's just bring the item data in here. And yeah, we can test this now. I don't know if this will work. So let's get all the items here. So let's open the inventory again and let's drop an item. Let's see if we spawn something, anything. But it doesn't look like. So let's say here under the drop item function, the location should be location of our actor plus, oh sorry, one mesh get location and then plus something. So we say plus, I don't know, plus 100x, 100y, 100z. And then we compile, save, and play this. Let's see again. Yup, we have some of them. Let's go here and let's drop this one. Yeah, it's spawning in front of us. Cool. And also the correct things. So yeah, this is now without any collisions or physics or anything. So we will work in a few seconds on this. So, but of course this is working now, and I very happy that this works so fast and without any complications. So let's get this, or let's drop anything. Oh, they are all now inside this one. So yeah, a lot of things to do here, so they're not falling on top of each other. And of course they now need to display here on the ground. So let's first do this. Probably this is something for the next part, because we're about 20 minutes or more. So I will just put this into the next video. So thank you for watching, and yeah, have a nice day. Bye.